recorded this entire episode, and then I realized I didn't press the record button. That's never happened before. Not that I can remember. So here it is, another redone episode, technically, of Monday Movie Pickup. Alright, well, you know what? Let's talk about some horror right away. We got Phantom of the Opera here. So this is the Kino Blu-ray that was released in 2015. They actually had an Image Blu-ray released in 2011. This is the original movie released in 1925, starring Lon Chaney. It was released by Universal, but of course they don't have the rights anymore to the movie. Well, I mean, it's public domain, so I guess they just don't ever release it. I guess it could also be an issue with the fact that they don't have a high-quality print of the movie, which I've always suspected, but other people do, and they've just taken the liberty of releasing it themselves. There's two versions on this. There's the 1925 version made up of 16mm prints that were originally produced back when the movie was first made. And then they have a second version, which is the higher quality version that most people know of, which was released, well, it was a sound version released in 1929, and more widely in 1930, that added sound elements to the silent film to bank on the invention of sound in movies. But that version is lost, technically. A lot of this version of Phantom is made up of shots from a second camera that was filming at the same time. It was a version of the movie that was built in the 1950s, and no one... I've done quite a bit of research on this, and no one's really sure why this version of the movie was made, but it was made of the elements from the sound version, but it was a silent version of the movie. A lot of the sound elements don't exist anymore, or at least they don't exist with the film itself. Very confusing history, but the point is there's two versions of the movie on here, and the 1929 version actually has two different frame rates, so a lot of different ways you can watch it. Like I said, there was the Image Blu-ray released in 2011. This is the Kino version. I usually trust Kino because they're like Criterion. They make really high quality versions of movies on disc, especially the silent stuff. We also have here Hammer horror stuff, because every year I gotta buy more Hammer. I'm trying to get into Hammer as much as I can, and I would love to own everything that Hammer's ever released, but since they're in Britain, it's always been an issue trying to get the rights in the States. Who has the rights? So many different studios do, so you can never have one collection come out, and even then the DVD Blu-ray releases are always owned by different people as well. Shout Factory has started to release a lot of Dracula movies along with Warner Archive, because Warner Brothers still owns the rights to many of the movies, the Dracula series anyway, and the Frankenstein series has had a harder time getting released, but Mill Creek somehow also has the rights to some of the Hammer movies, and they released these 2-packs on one disc. They don't have any special features, but it's great that the movies are just hitting Blu-ray in any form, and these are always very low-cost discs, so I love that. Revenge of Frankenstein, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, and the reason I bought this was because online on Amazon it's going up really high in price for right now for some reason. It's like $40 or $50. And to me that was like, okay, it's either out of print or it's inflated. Well, you can find the disc on Mill Creek. Not even that, but actually the second disc, Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll and the Gorgon, this is a 2-pack that I bought on Walmart for $10. Not a bad price. And you got 4 movies out of it, and Blu-ray quality. And like I said, this one is apparently, it's either out of print or they've just really inflated the prices somehow on Amazon because there's been some scummy sellers out there. I'm not really sure. But the point is, if you want this or you want to make sure you get it right now, I'd go to Walmart and buy them. It's great to just try to collect as much Hammer as I can. I mean, they made a lot of movies, but it's not like it's impossible to get everything of theirs. I mean, everything doesn't have a Blu-ray release. Not everything's in the States, but it's a mess, but I'd love to own everything if possible anytime soon. Prince Caspian, which is the second Narnia movie by Disney, wasn't as big of a success as the first movie, but still made quite a bit of money. There's a 2-disc set here. Really nice case, too. They made this Blu-ray, I'm guessing, in 2009, around the same time they made the Snow White Blu-ray, because it's actually the same kind of case. It's got artwork on the back. It's got a 3-disc set, but it's cased in... It's just a really... I don't even know how to describe it, but it's a really nice case. This disc part even snaps in there, so it doesn't do a lot of banging around inside the case when it's just loose like this. And I bought it just because I wanted to watch the second one. I figured, well, I have the first one, might as well get the rest of them, right? So I bought this one just to watch it. But then it was actually requested on Patreon. So I will be doing this one in November, and I'll actually be doing in December, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So I'll be doing the whole series now, which makes me happy. I finally have a reason to see Prince Caspian, because this is technically the only Narnia movie I haven't seen. Voyage of the Dawn Treader, like I said, it's been a couple of years, and even then, wasn't paying attention to it when it came out. Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Another Narnia movie, which I actually watched in conjunction with the live-action version that we just did a review of on the other day. And I actually did watch it. Didn't even watch the YouTube version. I actually bought the disc to watch it. It's got really bad special features, like a biography on C.S. Lewis. There's an explanation of his Chronicles of Narnia series. There's trivia, and it's all just written. It's just one of those crappy discs. It was made in 2005. I'm guessing to bank off of the live-action one that was coming out. And I figured it'd be terrible. I saw some snippets of the animation before watching, and I started watching it, and it wasn't actually that bad. The animation, of course, is a little cruddy and sloppy, but I did get into the story, because they tell the story pretty well. It's got a great score. Like, the score in this movie is better than the live-action version, and it does a couple scenes better than the live-action version, in my opinion. If you want to get more details about it, just watch the review, but yeah, I actually kind of dug this, but, you know, it's not as good as the live-action version, and even then, I'm sure some people will stop short just because of the animation style. I always appreciate Bill Melendez, because, you know, with a small budget, he made something that was, had a charm to it still. I mean, all those Peanuts specials are popular today for, I mean, no other reason than people, they're endearing. They have an endearing quality to them. And then last but not least, I have a Blu-ray here from, I'm going to get this in frame real quick. Happy birthday from Ryan. Yeah, Ryan on Patreon, who's actually a super fan in general. So he sent me something for my birthday, because my birthday is in October. And I gave him my P.O. box, and I was like, I don't know what to expect, really. But this set showed up. This guy right here showed up in the mail. No, this actually comes with the Blu-ray set, but this guy is actually from Fraggle Rock, because he actually gave me the entire Fraggle Rock TV series. We had been talking on Facebook, and he was kind of asking if I'd ever seen it, because we were talking about Henson stuff in general. I've seen most of the Muppet movies. I saw Dark Crystal. I want to see the TV show that's come out as well. And I've seen Labyrinth. So I got my fix of Henson. I've seen a lot of his TV work as well. Even the crappy SNL show that he did for a while. And Fraggle Rock, though, for some reason I've never seen it. They released his Blu-ray set in 2018. It comes with all the episodes in this really just fabulous set, man. I love when they just put tons of effort into the disc art and the cover art as well. Lots of little details in here about the making of the show, artwork, and even some of the puppeteers actually in action. So really interesting. I don't know anything about Fraggle Rock, but I'm excited to finally give it a watch. And it even comes with the animated series. Why did everything in the 80s have to have an animated series? Even a TV show needed an animated series? I know, like, Star Trek had an animated series. A bunch of movies did too. Beetlejuice had one. The Mask had one. Ace Ventura had one. All the Jim Carrey movies apparently got one. So, way too many animated series in the 80s, that's for sure. But, excited to finally give this a watch. So, thank you so much, Ryan. That was completely unexpected gift, to be honest. That was so awesome. Every week I say I'm not going to have as much as the week before, but the pile keeps filling up and I'm running out of space back there. What does that mean? I stop? Or do I just build more shelves? Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks to all my Patreon supporters. For only $7, you can get your own monthly movie review. Ask me to review anything I haven't already. There's also other perks like blogs, exclusive videos, and early access. You can also follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thanks so much for watching this video.